Ladies and gentlemen, so if you let me, I just want to present you our presentation about challenges in food and beverage sector, which is focused to AI, LML, and blockchain. So firstly, I would like to go to next slide, which is an issue right now for me. I don't know why. So, all right, I'm there. So first thing first, let's pick something about the topics. So our objective is to support SME in food and beverages because this sector is quite unique, and we want adapting this sector to digital transformation. And there are some needs for Digifabs. This sector is a really large manufacturing sector in European Union. There is quite 20% of lacking behind emerging technology potential, which is not really good. And there are also external factors that this sector has to face, like pandemic, war, climate change, and labor changes. So there are some issues we need to handle them. And we, of course, like in other sectors, we need skilled professionals. And the target audience for this presentation are educators, students, or SMEs. All right, so this presentation will be split to 5 sections. So first of them will be introduction. So I will introduce a little bit the topic. Then we will so I will be speaking because maybe there will be some kind of communication, but I do not expect that. So I will be speaking about challenges of food and beverage sector. Then I mentioned some topics about blockchain and traceability system in a food and beverage sector, which is really good topic, and some information about who leads the change and conclusion. So, total introduction is focused to objectives. So we need to deliver some knowledge, skill, and mindset. It's totally important for changing the situation in which we are. So and we need to navigate the system and lead into digital transformation, which is not really easy in this segment of market. So we need students with practical experience, which is really crucial because they maybe in one day they will drive SMEs. The SMEs need some kind of digital readiness and innovation capacity, and indefinitely because they are small or medium, they need to be resilient. And for educators, it's not just so easy as to mention. So they need to integrate digital change management into their curricula. So the mindset is really important. Then, according to that, we need to develop of responsible dynamic digital change agents. And of course, we need to align everything with Industry 5.0. So, which I will mention just really shortly. So, what is the challenge? As you can see in here, so in the food and beverage sector, we got a really huge portion on the market. So we're dealing with 1.5 trillion euro annually. So it's really huge portion. And we're dealing with some strategies, and we need to align our actions to these strategies. So the general strategy is United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And according to them, we're facing 4 of them. So we need to be aligned with them. So first of them is food security. So we have a food in the markets, we have a food in the retail. There is a lot of food around us, but there is also hunger in the world. So we need to secure that the food will be there also tomorrow. And we also have to secure that the food will be there if there is any problem like war or climate change. So this is a first topic we need to face, and this is first challenge. The second one is related to SDG 3, and which is good health and well-being. So every one of us want to be in good condition and want to have well-being. And right now we try to reach it through nutrition and food safety. So it's really issue because the nutrition is really personal. So it's something is right for me and might be wrong for you. So this topic is it's quite challenging, and food safety is also really important, and it might be quite an issue, and we need to be responsible and in consumption and production, because in a food sector or food or beverage sector is really high food loss and waste. It may be more than 50%, and I guess it's a little bit higher, but let's be optimistic. So everything will be produced, like 50% of that will be waste. So it's quite an issue. So and we have climate actions. So our sector, like food and beverage, is producing agriculture's emissions, and we are using a land, and it's totally okay. But when the population of human growing, there will be some challenge, because the humans want to use the land for the accommodation, and we need to use it for food production. So there might be quite an issue, and we need to solve them somehow. All right. So as I mentioned, the current trends in transformation in an F&B industry, that are resilient. We need to be transparent to consumers, and we need to be somehow sustainable, because we need to produce our food in the future. And of course, the food is supposed to be health and also sustainable, and it's really, really nice if the food will be personalized. So because in this situation, there are many issues like allergens or intolerance, and some movements. For instance, there are people, there are fruitarians, there are vegetarians, and many kind of tarians. So we need to reach them. We need to provide them really personalized food, and we need to provide a lot of information, and after that they can believe us, and they can believe that we do our job right, and that we are transparent. So but at the same time, we have some opportunities, because the digitalization is accelerating the sector. So we have an issue with labor, and digitalization give us like opportunity to be a lot more efficient. So in food and beverage industry, we can use many tools like artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, or Internet of Things. But we need to use them wisely, because we got some kind of legislation. The human is always responsible for the product, so it's not so easy just collect the data and process them with artificial intelligence. So we need to do that wisely. And we need to provide all this information, all these tools to small and medium-sized and enterprises because they need them. And uh, in small and medium-sized enterprises, there is a little bit different situation, like in really huge dinosaurs on the market, and they are really vulnerable. So we need to prepare them for a change. Another challenges in these sectors they are facing is also the blockchain. We need to ensure the food safety and quality, and we need to find some kind of solutions. And let's speak about three topics that give us more insight in these options, challenges, and solutions. So first of these topics is the supply chain disruption and economic pressures. So it's really huge issue. Then we will discuss about sustainability and climate change, and regulatory complexity and consumer expectations, which is also very, very specific in a food and beverage industry. So let's start with supply chain disruption and economic pressure. So everything goes fine till some kind of issues, and the issues might be really, really huge, like conflict, such as conflict or war in Ukraine. It totally disrupts flow of raw materials, and it lead to really problem with wheat, oil, fertilizers, and this problem is global. There are some countries that are really they have lack of food, for instance, Cuba. And we got also climate extremes. So they are related to climate change, and there are some regions they got quite a problem. They are not ready for extreme situations. So and they might be floods, or it's really extreme dry, and it's everything is somehow related to climate change. So maybe in the future we will solve this problem, but right now we just need to be ready. So maybe we don't know how to change that, but we have to be ready, because if we won't be ready, there will be a problem, and we call the problem food security will be the problem. There will be really lack of food, and there might be a really challenge. So there's also a challenge with energy and labor. So energy has higher costs according to many factors, and also labor is a little bit changed. Maybe people in these sectors want to work a little bit different. So the manual work is not so the number one for the employees, and there is a space for cooperation with artificial intelligence and employee, which is quite a topic of Industry 5.0. So as I mentioned, SMEs are quite vulnerable. Facing many risks. So one of them is insolvency, and there's always the economic pressure. So they are forcing businesses to reassess their investment strategies, and there is always some kind of issue with resilience of their supply chain. So, and this is what needs to be considered. All right, so how to blockchain can help in this situation? So we can provide end-to-end traceability, because blockchain is really good for traceability. Every single information is written and can't be changed. So it's and also it's open. Something like this, like end-to-end traceability, is like the gold for food and beverages system. It will be really nice. I hope we will reach it. Immutable records, that will be also fantastic, because there are many records and there are many frauds about records. So all the transaction, if there will be automatic, it may be really good for all stakeholders, because the fraud will be eliminated. And also smart contract, as I mentioned, automated agreement, which will affiliate timely payment and compliance. They reducing administrative overhead, and also room for fraudulent activities. The second challenge is the sustainability. So in a food and beverage, we produce food and we use livestock production, which might be quite issue, but if we will do it right, it might be climate neutral. So is it possible? Because the methane is something else like CO2, and we can manage it, and the livestock production might be neutral to climate, but we need to do it right. So when we use new techniques, and when we use digitalization, we might be a lot more effective, and also the loss of food through the process will be eliminated. And extreme weather events are disaster in agriculture. So we are totally rely on the weather, and the agriculture was always collected with climate. So we need to somehow be aligned with these climate missions. So there are many forces that are attacking the system, and one of these is like consumer power, and the consumers, they're increasing, like they really want us to be more focused to environment. So, and we have to deliver as a part of the system. So we need to lower the environment footprint on our products, because it's really good for business, and we can use it as advertising, or we can use it for developing a better position on the market. And also we need to require a significant investment, and we need to change our existing business models. So maybe the system just have more money than yesterday is not really good, and it's not sustainable. So we have to do something with this business model. We need to reconsider them. All right, in this situation, also the blockchain can help us. And there are some options how to use blockchain for sustainability and climate changes, and we can provide like claims in transparency and sustainability. But these claims are something different, like greenwashing, because the greenwashing is also claim, but it's not based on facts. So if we want to claim something, we need to prove it to consumers, to government, to anyone. So, and blockchain is really good technology for validation. So we need to enable verification of sustainable practice. We have to be open to many stakeholders. There are also some kind of factors, and we can call them like carbon footprint tracking. And this factor is quite complex because there are many strategies how to calculate carbon footprint tracking. And I hope there will be like one strategy for whole Europe. I know that they're working on them, and according to that, we can align these tracking methodology to another missions, and we can be a lot more ecologic. So, and if we got a really transparent system, like a food chain system, there will be a lot more easier to track the carbon footprint. But right now it's quite a really complicated issue, because many informations are on paper, and they might be somehow altered, and the information is not really good. So according to sustainability, we have to change or reduce waste production. Also, the enhanced traceability has us identified some reduction spots across the supply chain. So it could show us some opportunities how to be more efficient. There are many ways how we can recirculate our products or our waste and change them according to insects or another strategies, and change them back to food. So right now there are many strategies how to produce alternative proteins, and we can use also waste for producing another protein. The third challenge is the regulatory complexity, and this is what is continually evolving. So this environment is not stable. It's really dynamic, and we need some kind of help in this area, because we need to be aligned with legislation, because it's crucial for this kind of business. And there are also new requirements. So, and they are introduced to food traceability in allergens, labeling, packaging, and so on. And we need new requirements for using artificial intelligence, for instance, or Internet of Things, because, as I said, the human is always responsible, but the artificial intelligence might be our secretary, and might provide us might provide a lot of data, and just we will be responsible for analyzing these data. We don't need to crawl the raw data, and we will have some interpretation what is happening in our facility or our company. So we need to be a lot more flexible. So this is a really crucial part of resilience. So we need be flexible. Our businesses have to be flexible, and we need to really, really quickly adapt to new standards. So personalization of product, as I mentioned, it's aligned with the science, with a new topic like nutrigenomics, for instance, or another needs of consumers, and we need to provide a personalized product, and we need to show our consumers how to buy a product which is personalized to them. So many there are many ways how to do that. We can provide them a software or information. We can combine all digital facts into one app in a mobile, because my colleagues working on such a product which will help the consumer pick up the product according to their genetic predisposition, for instance, and according their needs. And also we need to provide some kind of credibility in a traceability system. So because quite every single product has to be traceable, but there is a lot of issue in a traceability system, because the traceability, it's on national level. If we go to abroad, we don't have so much data. So we need to open this system. Maybe we need to open it to European region or globally. So there is a lot of issues we need to face and we need to solve. All right, so how can blockchain help us? So we can facilitate compliance. So we can provide automated data recording, which might help in food safety standards and regulatory requirements, is one option. We can provide some kind of transparency to consumers. So as I mentioned, that we can use RFID or QR code to provide some kind of data to consumers. There is also, or there will be, a new legislation. They will provide a 2D text on our products, or QR codes on products. So they will include a lot of data about the product. So and we also need efficient recall management if there is any contamination. So we can, according to blockchain, find out which product is contaminated, and we don't need to discard all batch or all day production. So we can be a lot more precise, so, and we can minimize the health risk. So, and the blockchain can help us in these topics. So what are the risks of going digital? Because I was speaking about digitalization, but there are also some risks, and the sectors is afraid a little bit about implementation of all these instruments. So of course there is a lack of digital skills. That's why we are in here. So many food and beverages SMEs have a lack, or they're sensing a lack of internal experience in data analysis, in AI or cybersecurity. So that's a huge problem. So if you don't know what is it about, you are afraid. So and it makes them dependent on external vendor. So and this might be an issue. So that's because that's why in every single SME is supposed to be some kind of knowledge about all these tools like AI or Internet of Things and how to use them. So they might be a high upfront investment. So if you want to build your own network or your own blockchain system, you need a hardware, software, and you need a training. But there are many options how you can use another system. You can outsource the system, and you can use blockchain, which is not your, but it just collect your data, and it might save you money. There is also some kind of resistance to change. So if something goes well, why should I change it? So, but with the digital tools, they come some, let's say, options. So if the company is using the digitalization, it might be a lot more efficient. It might be a lot more faster in delivering. It might be a lot more precise in traceability, and that might be really, really good way how to provide some kind of information to consumers, because consumers really need producers to be open and provide them a lot of data about the production. And this is really, really combined with a data trust and security concern. Because businesses fear data breakage and AI decision opacity or blockchain complexity, which can bring confidence in technologies. So trust in the data is really, really important in these topics, and they need to be delivered also to companies and also for consumers. Consumer which not trust you won't buy your products. So something about the blockchain and the traceability. So what is the blockchain? So the key terms in blockchain is the way how to digitalize your data and how to process Internet of Things data, which might be sensors or softwares or vehicles or whatever kind of data you can collect automatically, and you don't need to gather them personally, because it's really time consuming, and it might be an issue for the employees to do all that boring stuff. So the people won't be creative, and the Internet of Things give us opportunity how to increase their creativity, because the boring part of the system might be overcome by IoT. Disintermediation as a removal of intermediaries from a supply chain is one way how to do that, because the system can prove the operation itself. We can provide a smart contracts. They are self-executing contract, and every single contract is automated, and the greenwashing problem might be solved by blockchain really easy, because if we provide every single information about the process, then we just provide correct data. It's not a greenwashing. We are not pretending. We are really doing our best. So the definition of blockchain is quite a well known. I guess there will be some exercise about blockchain in these topics. It's a distributed ladder technology, and in blockchain, there can record, quite everyone can do the record, and nobody can change it. So, and everyone is responsible that the record is correct. So the system do not need a third party which is responsible for analysis of the process. All these processes in a blockchain are automatically observed. In other words, it's a distributed database which is shared among computers or network nodes. So there is many computers. They got a copy of the whole database. So what is the blockchain technology? So the most important thing is that no one person or entity has control of the information kept in a record. So the control is decentralized. There's not only one center you can attack and steal the data or alter the data, because there is nothing like that. So all these information are distributed about many nodes, and these nodes are a one network, and every single node is responsible for the data. And every single change must be verified. So if it's something added or altered in the database, it's automatically verified if there's any problem. So this is the good things on blockchain technology. And there's no single point of failure according to that, because if the database is quite everywhere, so if you want to attack it, you need to attack every single node, every single database. And according to our computers and according to our computing possibilities, it's quite impossible in these days. Maybe in the future it will be a lot more challenging, but right now it's quite impossible to break a blockchain according to today's technologies. And also some copies of blockchains exist on every computer on the network in the same time, and they can keep working if one or ever multiple nodes go off. So even if they go off, the blockchain is still working. So how we can use it in agri-food digitalization? I mentioned few opportunities how to do that, and this system is really well known because of cryptocurrency. So we know that there are some cryptocurrencies, but the system of the blockchain we can use it also in other sectors. So there is no limit only for cryptocurrencies. And a blockchain can be used to make data in any industry. And that's why we can use it also in food and beverages industry. So according to specific environment in our industry, we need to use them wisely. As I said, if we got IoT data, we can't put them directly to the blockchain, because there might be some kind of problem with the sensor, and we provide information that our product it's not marketable because it's against law. It's for instance the temperature wasn't correct or something like that, and maybe it's not the problem of the product or the process, but it might be a problem of the sensor. So we need to combine maybe the IoT sensors with artificial intelligence, which will provide us some kind of optimizing processes. They will direct, or they will show us the problems, and we as operators of the system will make a decision to change something, or to what to put in a blockchain system. So the responsibility supposed to be on human. The human touch is really, really necessary in the food and beverage industry, but we can work with process data. We don't need to go through all raw data there are in the industry. There are many, many sensors that might be automatically collected. And we need to build some kind of rules, and we need to build some kind of instruction for engagement. So the process of agri-food digitalization is really complex. So the food system is really, really complex because it's from the providers to retailers, and there is a plenty of information which might be aligned with these steps in a food chain. So the provider can provide us information about crops, information about if they've been pesticided, or if you use some kind of fertilizers, or what kind of machinery you use. And also the producers, they can add something to these data. So they can provide information about crop cultivation, animal welfare, or whatever kind of another information. So processors, they can provide information about batch numbers, about the factory equipment and processes or whatever they need to provide consumers. And we can build the change through distributors to retailers. And at the end of this process, we will have a blockchain full of information. And we can use this information for consumers. We can use this information for us, like a part of the system. We can use this kind of information for traceability for many ways. There is many opportunities how to use it when we build it once. So in general, we can provide quicker and more accurate flow of information between supply chain stakeholders. We can have a room for less human errors, because if there's some interesting part of the system will be automated, so there's a really small room for human error or human fraudulent activities. We can increase transparency radically, and also we can increase efficiency. We do not need so much people to do that, because if the process is automatical, we just need few people to look on the system, but not to do in the system. And when we do it right, we can also reduce costs. So according to increasing transparency, there will be another favor for us, or we can eliminate a risk of contamination. But there are some kind of situation in which it's not so easy to eliminate contamination, because there are always some kind of processes that are done by humans, and if there is a human, there is always some kind of error. So even if we use blockchain technology, we have to be aware in elimination of all risk. We also can help in minimize the negative impact of or on a supply chain, and we can identify exactly which product were contaminated. I already mentioned that if we got some kind of issue, we do not need to throw away all day production. We can say that this kind of product was supplied by contaminated source, and then we can select only the products that might be contaminated, not all production. All right, so we go to the stage 4. So who leads the change? So according to this project, we try to build a role of responsible digital change agent. So we need to have a vision, not only to promote technology, but also to develop people who use it. So we need to use the technology ethically, sustainably, and inclusively. And also, we need to use artificial intelligence according to GDPR, bias, and fairness. So we have to know how to do that, and also we need to use blockchain wisely, because blockchain is really good to collect information and keep them safe. But if we put in a blockchain fraudulent information, it will save this kind of information either. So we need to be aware how we're using a blockchain in our food and beverage industry. So in this place of my presentation, you should stop for a while, so for 2 or 3 minutes, and play in a mini scenario exercise. And you should think a little bit how you can, or how you or your company can consider AI. What ethical and practical questions would you ask? And when you think a while, we can go to conclusion. So to conclude everything what I said is that food and beverage sectors is facing some challenges. So we are facing climate change, resource scarcity, supply chain instability, and the rising consumer expectation in many ways. So the small and medium-sized enterprises are always under pressure. So they are always staying competitive while complying with increasingly stringent regulations. So the pressure is really high. So, but there are some opportunities also. So there are digital technologies like AI or blockchain or machine learning. They can help in many processes. They can provide a lot of data. They can pre-process the data, and they can save money and your time. And the best part is that it don't have to start big. So even small action, trying a simple ML tools, improving data collection or mapping a process might be really good start. So maybe you can play with the sensors in your homes. So there are many ways how you can start to implement these kind of technologies. And also, how and why we use these techniques is really, really important. So we need to do it ethically. All the processes supposed to be collaborative. We need to involve staff, partners, and end user in the process, because we need to be efficient and open. And it's really crucial to be sustainable, because if we are sustainable, we can focus on long-term benefits, not short-term trends. So, and call to actions, take 5 minutes after this section and write down what digital changes as your SME or classroom or team face today. So, or what small change could you test within the next 7 days? So try to think a little bit what is around you. If you're using any smart devices, if you know how to automatize them, or if you don't know, just think about this. What is around, and you will see that there is a plenty of IoT around you, and there are plenty ways how to use them without any knowledge. So, and that will be a really good start. So I provide you also some kind of interactive tools and online resources to play with, and some information about sources to this presentation. They will be included on a video. So thank you for your attention, and if you got any questions, so I'm here to respond.
Thank you very much, Radoslav. I see a couple comments in the chat. One is from George saying that data governance is really important, as you mentioned that. And there's also a question from Susan saying, how easy is it to change the blockchain if new suppliers need to be used by a company at short notice?
All right. Yeah, in a blockchain, there is not in blockchain. So in a food chain, there is always a problem how to deal with suppliers. So if you want to change one supplier to another, you need a certain amount of information. It's really crucial. Do he really have such a product I need? You don't know it. So you need to try. If we have some information in blockchain, so we can select our, so we can select with whom we want to work with. So, and it might be really, really nice to have such a product on the market. But you can put there what you want, and according to blockchain, some AI will collect all the information and will tell you that this company is exactly what you need. That will be something. Well, it will be breakthrough.
Thank you very much. Anyone has any other questions or comments?
In terms of blockchain, has this been deployed or trialed, or has a platform been created? I suppose the question is it a concept or is it in development?
So there are many concepts how to do that, but there's also one issue that we're gonna use blockchain right away if consumers want it. So we need in this situation the consumers changing the government changing the law changing if we're using blockchain or not. So if there will be a push of consumers that yes, we really need open companies, we need this information, we want it, there will be blockchain right away. So, but right now we are in a situation that we provide information about what is it good for, to provide you information and to, how to say that, to start the pressure. And after that, we can expect that there will be some kind of legislation, that there will be many companies, they can provide you access to their blockchain, but you need to pay for it. So it's supposed to be included in your product. And the consumers need to know that your product is better because you provide them some kind of data. They are in a blockchain. Yeah. Okay. So
it hasn't. So I suppose what the question is, it obviously we've gone through. There's many advantages to having it, but at the minute it's kind of like we were saying at the start with like the sustainability and the green adoption. industry aren't adopting it at the minute because there is no real push to adopt. There is nobody mandating that says you must, we obviously manage our traceability systems in the traditional ways that we have audits and surveys and questionnaires and stuff. But at the minute, the technology exists, but there is no requirement to apply it. Is that kind of the gist? Is that sort of what we're saying?
Yeah, partly I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely what we are doing here, we provide information about really bright future with blockchain, but right now it's quite a tricky. So because the consumers have a money and they make a decision which product they're gonna buy. So and if they want a blockchain, they will have it. So, but the mission is to let them know that something like this is even possible. So and I guess that's my mission.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Any other questions?